Hello everybody and welcome to this video from premierbusinessacademy.co.nz. By the way, grab all your free resources there. There's tons there for you. No strings attached. Grab it. It's theirs for the taking. Enjoy it. Today's one is Lean Leadership Lessons. There's going to be probably lots more that will flow out of this one, but this one is a question I get asked a lot. Like, what does great leadership look like in business? How can I... All of the questions we get asked, actually, to sum it all up, comes back to leadership. So lean really comes back to leadership. I mean, those first three letters, right? They share that lean and leadership. I hope you like the sort of LLL going on here, Lean Leadership Lessons. So this is, or you could call them tips, whatever you want, but again, the questions that come on to me on LinkedIn, every day actually on LinkedIn, every day on our Lean group chats that I'm part of, is all of the questions really come back to one thing, and that's leadership. All the roadblocks, all the challenges, all the problems that people have, and we've got tons of great videos on how to overcome certain obstacles and challenges in your lean journey, how to build a fun lean culture, but it all comes back to this one thing. So if we can share a few tips today around this, and then if you want me to dive deeper on any of these topics, drop a comment below or contact me on WhatsApp or contact me on LinkedIn, no worries. So lean is the hard thing that makes everything easy. This is the first thing I say to people. Lean is the hard thing that makes everything easy. So remember that this is a really important lesson to bear in mind, and even write it down in your diary or your notebook or whatever. I actually recommend that anyone that's watching this is you write these tips down, put them in the front of your diary, and refer to them regularly, because lean is the hard thing that makes everything easy, and leadership is hard, right? When we sign up for leadership, or we might call it a management role, really, as soon as you're managing people and things, there's a big difference between managing and leading. Leading means that people want to follow you. You know, that's how you lead. Managing is really just managing resources and managing people, which is not the same as leadership. They're two very, very different things. But so here's some things that we're going to run through. Everybody is an owner. This is a really important concept, making sure that from day one, everyone in your business feels like an owner, so that everything is transparent. Everybody knows what's going on. In fact, that ties straight into this one here, which is, we say that business is like an aquarium. It's fully transparent, and you can see everything that's coming in and going out of the business. So that's really, really important. Those two things go together. Everybody's an owner, and the aquarium, the thought of the aquarium. The next one that's going to help you a huge amount is blaming the process, not the person. I was at a lean course recently, and there was one gentleman there that I can't remember his name, but he had a lot of problems with people problems, and he was very frustrated. And we shared this little tip with him. I don't know if he liked it or not, but we said, well, when we had very much a blame culture at Premier Group, our manufacturing company, in the early days, and when we came across the lean concept about, respecting people and respecting resources, and understanding this simple quote here, which is blame the process, not the person, it means that your whole focus shifts to a process focus. So you're going, when there's a problem, let's fix the process. There's got to be a process problem. And everyone's argument always is, oh yeah, but this person's average and their attitude sucks and all this sort of stuff. And sure, that might be the case, but the challenges in business as a leader, you've got to bring people together, preferably, or really you have to bring people that share the same values. So that's really, really key. You've got to be really clear around your core values, because then you can build a hiring process where you're asking the right questions that bring in the people that share those values with you. But the point is that if you keep blaming the person, they are not going to, it won't be long before they clam up. They're never going to share the real problem with you. It's a lose-lose situation all the way. So as soon as you shift that focus from blame the person, not the process, and you blame the process, we had this sort of light bulb moment when we got this, and we started training our leaders across the team how to do this. And it made all the difference. Suddenly, people start to, they start to open up and feel they can be trusted, and they're not going to get, jumped on or yelled on, or, suffer any sort of consequences of stuffing something up. Because that's not the way to grow a business. The only way to grow a business is to learn from every single failure and every single mistake. And you are shutting the door on all of that if you don't embrace this concept. So we could talk for 20 minutes about this concept, but it's so, so important. Please ask questions if you've got any. The morning meeting, your must get that off the ground. You will never become a great lean leader or any type of leader if you don't get the morning meeting off the ground, because this is the drumbeat. This is where people have a voice, people feel respected. You can't do it weekly, you can't do it monthly. You've probably heard me say this in so many videos, but it is so important that you cannot miss the morning meeting and get that off the ground. And over time, these meetings just get better and better. And a big tip here is to rotate the leadership, because your goal is to always make sure everybody feels like an owner, everybody feels like a stakeholder. So you start to rotate the leadership as soon as you possibly can. Don't put that off, so that every day there's a different person running the meeting. They're running through the agenda. It is incredibly powerful. We've got some very good videos on how to get the morning meeting off the ground, but that's really critical tip if you want to become a great lean leader, someone that can really get a team to, to be inspired, to follow, and do great things together. Really important. If the student hasn't learnt, the teacher hasn't taught. This is a really hard one. I've always struggled with this one. And again, all these concepts go together. You can see how they kind of all connect together. The teacher hasn't taught. So what that means, really, it explains itself, but you've got to go back to the drawing board and you've got to do better at coaching and training and growing people, because if the student hasn't learned, the teacher hasn't taught. So that's a Toyota principle as well. All of these really, this is all about the Toyota production system, which is what we know of as most people refer to it as lean, but and which is really the elimination of waste through continuous improvement, but really it's a human development system. It's a human transformation system, helping everybody to grow and learn and get better. And of course, then your processes and get better, and then as a result of that, your service and quality just gets better and better. So that's another really important one to think about, and that's pretty humbling for most business owners and leaders. So you've got to get on with that. The two foundational pillars of lean, or the Japanese culture, the Toyota culture, is that number one is a deep respect for people. That's the first kind of pillar that underlies all that holds all this up. Deep respect for people, and the second one is a deep respect for resources. So you've got to understand these two things to really become a great lean leader as well. Because if you don't have those basic pillars, you're always going to struggle. You're not going to serve your people well. Another one which always sounds really cheesy, but you are the CRO. You've got to remember this is one of the most important hats that you wear. I'll try and draw a little hat there. CRO, which means the Chief Reminding Officer. That means every day, every hour, every time you're chatting to someone, you're talking about the vision, the mission, the values, the principles that run the business, that guide the business, and things like that. So you've always got to be reminding people about why we're doing what we're doing and where we're going and how we're going to get there. Really critical, and train your leadership team. So what I'm really saying with all of this, in this podcast or video today, is that all of these lessons you need to take on board yourself, and you need to share them with your leadership team, and then they need to keep growing leaders underneath them as well, because you need to keep growing people so that if you're thinking intergenerational and building a business that's much bigger than yourself and will outlive yourself and many generations, this is the types of things you have to do. Again, I'm going right back to this. Lean is the hard thing that makes everything easy. And on that note, I'm going to jump straight to here. Every day, if you do the hard things, which is this, life will get easier. If you continue to do the easy things, which is put this off or don't do this stuff, then life is just going to get harder. And that just leads me to another point as well, which we'll talk about in a minute. So hopefully that there's a couple of things there. The CEO, the Chief Energy Officer. So this is a really interesting one as well. You as a business owner or leader, you have to bring the energy. You have to be that Chief Energy Officer. That's a really important role to play. Same with your leadership team. Are they bringing the energy every day, even when they're feeling down? They can't have bad days. They can't show that they're having bad days to their team. We've done a video on that, but that is really important, that the Chief Energy Officer, that you are taking up that role and you're bringing the energy to the team. That's meant to look like a lightning bolt. Hope you like that. The window and the mirror, there's another really important lesson. When things are going well, look out the window and praise your people. When things are going bad or off the rails or something goes wrong, look in the mirror and take a good look at yourself. Take it all on yourself. Because if you reverse that, which we see in business so much, and we even see it in sports teams, don't we, in average sports teams, when things go wrong, the coach or the captain can look out the window and say it's my people's fault. but the only way they're ever going to move forward is to take full accountability, or extreme ownership, we call it. And that's a really important principle. You've got to take extreme ownership of things, especially if things go off the rails. Really, really critical. Culture first, you've got to think about that, or you could be calling it people first. But again, that's what this is all about, really, is that you're putting people first, because your biggest priority every day is growing people so that they get better and better and better. They're becoming at least 1% better every day. They're becoming the best possible version of themselves, which is really important if you want to help them hit their life goals, which is critical. If you want to grow a great business, then you need to be putting your people first, their interests first. It's really, really important. Obviously, you've still got to have the basics, right? Every business needs to, number one, make a profit. Number two, generate cash, right? If you don't have those two things, you're out of business. But that's part of growing people. That's part of teaching and training from day one, because everybody's an owner. So you're training them about those simple things straight away, those foundational things. Well, when you join ABC Group, you understand that every day we need to make a profit, and every day we need to generate cash. Otherwise, we're not going to be in business. So that is really key, and that's part of this, right? So I'm not saying culture first at the expense of the financials. They go together. The financials, if you're putting culture first, then that means you're training people properly. Everything's transparent, like an aquarium. People can see what's coming in, what's going out. You're training people on financial training, so everybody is an owner. Everybody is a stakeholder. Everybody has a stake in the outcome, which I'm going to pop in here too. Make sure everyone has a stake in the outcome, so that everybody is treated like a virtual shareholder. So you get full buy-in. A group chat, make sure you've at least got one group chat. It might be your good news chat, the ABC company's good news chat, or it might be your daily reporting chat, or it might be the lean improvements chat, whatever it is. Make sure there's at least one group chat where everybody's connected on a platform like WhatsApp or Signal or Messenger or something like that, so that everybody is connected and you can share messages through the day. When you think of something, you're listening to your audiobook, during your gym session, and you're listening to something, you think, I must share that with the team. You can just pull out your phone and shoot a 20-second video saying, I heard this cool quote, I want to share that with the team. So that's a really cool way of building trust and rapport, and being that chief reminding officer and being that chief energy officer as well. Very simple, very powerful. Lots more benefits I could talk about there. Daily video is a real powerful one if you want to really take your lean leadership to the next level, or your leadership to the next level, because it's really the same thing. That's really, really the same thing. A great leader is a lean thinker, or a lean thinker is a great leader. So think about that. And just sharing a little daily video, 30 seconds, a minute, might be a little update about something, or might be something that's facing a challenge that's facing the business. Sharing some good news, sharing some wins. Always be sharing the wins. I haven't actually put that in there. So celebrate all the small wins. That's a really key way of being a great leader. Celebrate the small wins, because guess what? The small wins lead to the big wins, right? So it's really, really important, making sure you're doing that. Daily video, daily email, you can. I'm not a big fan of this anymore, because I regard email as waste. So, but if you're scared of getting on video, well, at least write your team a little daily message saying, hey, thanks for being a great team. Welcome to day blah, blah, blah. Welcome. And you might put a core value in there. Today I'm thinking of this core value. This is what I'm thinking about it. Are you living and breathing it? Thanks for being awesome. Have an amazing day, and let's deliver happiness to how many raving fans can we create today? Blah, blah, blah. You'll get good at that if you do it daily. It's like building muscle. It's just practice. We've talked about that. Growing people we've touched on already, but if that's your number one focus, and then that leads to process improvements. So your processes just get better and better. And what does that lead to? We all know that leads to improving quality. Quality goes up, and service goes up. So your customers win and your people win. So if you're growing people, then there's going to be less struggle every day, more improvements, less struggle, less hassles, less firefighting, less drama, which is what we all want in business. We want less drama. And you can run a company, almost drama-free, which is what we have the pleasure of doing here at Premier Group NZ every day, because we've spent 5, 6 years now, 7 years, I think, working on this journey, making it better and better for our people, and getting better and better at growing people, coaching and training and teaching. So that's what you get as a company that runs drama-free. That's one of your incredible rewards, and a company that will run with just a light touch from yourself. So it's pretty amazing. Do the hard things. We've talked about that. Personal growth, make sure you're learning and growing every day, because if you're not, your team can really only grow as fast as you're growing. So the faster you can grow, the faster the team can grow, because the lessons you're learning, you can share them with the team. So I use platforms like Audible, the Lean Play app, which is Paul Acker's app, which is just amazing. Lots of free, great books on there. You might follow some really smart, high value entrepreneurs on a podcast, but making sure you're getting in at least 30 minutes of growth and learning a day, if more if you can. One little top tip there is that I do my personal growth and learning during my workout session. So there's 30 minutes to 40 minutes of learning and growth, listening to Audible or whatever book I'm listening to at the time. And that's a huge help, and that helps you to share that with learning with the team and grow the business. Lean Health, I'm going to put a plug in again for this. This book is amazing. You need to listen to this book. It's called Lean Health by Paul Ackers. It's on the Lean Play app. You need to listen to it. It's incredible. It'll change the way you think about your health and your future. And of course, if you want to be a great leader, you have to be healthy. You have to be in tune, because if you're not at peak health, you can't be at peak performance. It affects your mood, it affects your energy. You can't really be a good CEO. You can't even be a great CRO if you don't have the health sorted out. You've got to have the health part of your life sorted out, because if you don't have great health, you really don't have anything. And if you don't have great health, you sure can't be a great leader, because you can't lead with purpose and energy and passion, all the things you need to lead a team. You're actually being not just unfair on yourself or selfish, you're actually being unfair on your team as well, unfair on your family, because you cannot lead them with at your peak performance. You need to be in peak and always be improving every day, even if, again, just by 1%, just getting better, stronger, healthier, creating better habits. So great app to use, by the way. I've been using it for 6 years now, is HabitShare. Incredible app, very simple, and it'll help you build and sustain great habits. So feel free to connect with me there. Servant leadership is really important. Actually, I'm going to pop HabitShare on here, because it's such a key little tool that will help you to grow and form better habits, especially if you're worried about or you're struggling with healthy habits and breaking bad ones. Servant leadership. So you're serving. What does that mean? It means you serve those that you lead. Sorry, I'm sort of writing in a bit of a hurry here. Servant leadership. You're serving those that you lead. You're putting your people's interests and you're kind of sort of like leading from behind, really. So it's not about being a rock star leader or someone that's blah, blah, blah. That's not what it's all about. It is about being there for your team, supporting them, helping them uncover roadblocks and things like that. We've talked about core values, how important that is to be clear on what those values are, so that you're hiring the right people from the start. Again, it doesn't change this. If you do hire a person that doesn't share your values, or they're in your company right now, you still can't turn this one around. You still have to blame the process when things go wrong, because that person can still, even if they've got a bad attitude, can still get better, and you will learn nothing, or you'll go backwards if you blame the person. It just does not work. Just flat out doesn't work. It's soul destroying, and it brings the culture down really, really quickly. Lead with questions, not answers. Really, really top tip there. And this is a hard one for me, because someone asks a question, I naturally want to just say, oh, this is what I'm thinking. A bit like that. So this one's been a hard one for me, and even after 6 years of practicing this, I still have my moments where I'm like about to answer, and I'm like, okay, Hannah, what do you think? So lead with questions and get. Otherwise, you're just going to build a flock of sheep, a bunch of sheep that are just following. You're not going to build a team of owners if you keep answering all the questions. So you've got to lead with questions, which means just that. And HabitShare we've talked about. So there's a few little tips today. There's obviously lots more we could talk about, but there's enough there for you to get started. If you're really struggling with leadership, struggling with business, you've got drama, you're putting out fires all the time, you're running from, you're firefighting, going from one problem to another. You're the guy that's answering, or the girl that's answering all the questions. You're like the Google of of your business. No one wants to be that, right? Some people enjoy it, by the way, but you'll never be a great leader if that's you. You have to quit that. That's a crazy habit. You don't want to be the person with all the answers, because you've probably heard me say this before, but here's a good little quote that will help you with that, is that, I've got no room to write it now, but So smart people learn from, average people learn from their experiences, smart people learn from everyone and everything, and stupid people already have all the answers. So you don't want to be that stupid person in there. You want to be the person that's learning all the time from everyone and everything, and you want to be building a team that is not just coming to you for all the answers, a team that can, you know, start to solve their problems, they start to improve, create standards, create SOPs, you know, create structure. So if that's the type of business you want, the type of team you want to lead, you need to start practicing these things. And again, if you've got questions, pop them in the comments or send me a voice note and we can build on any of these. Most of our, well, actually all of our videos, all of this type of content comes from questions from people like you and suggestions as well on things they want to hear about. So we'd love to hear from you if you've got any questions, want to go deeper on this. Don't forget to go to premierbusinessacademy.co.nz for lots more free resources. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.